There's some amazing news. New stimulus checks worth up to $125 will be automatically deposited and mailed out to millions of people very soon. The deposit dates for when these payments will be sent out have been released by officials and lawmakers. The IRS has confirmed that many people are eligible to claim an extra $800 refund check this year. So make sure to continue watching this video to find out the latest, most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check news, because you definitely don't want to miss out on this. Around an estimated 4.3 million residents of Indiana will receive extra stimulus cash in their bank accounts very soon. That's according to the Indiana governor. The governor said the money is effectively a 12% cut in the average Indiana resident's annual income tax liability. Approximately $545 million will be returned to taxpayers after the state ended its fiscal year with a surplus, triggering the automatic refund. Married couples who file jointly are expected to receive a one-time $250 refund. In an official statement this week, the Governor Holcomb said, "I'm beyond thrilled that this spring and summer we are returning money back into the hands of taxpayers, where it belongs." The state revealed back in December that Indiana taxpayers will get the refund after filing 2021 taxes. The Department of Revenue and the auditors of the state's office will work together to distribute the money. Most of the payments are expected to come via direct deposit. Some taxpayers will get a check mailed to them instead. Direct deposits will start hitting bank accounts starting in a few weeks, and the payments will continue being sent out through July. Governor Holcomb said that the state expects to mail checks starting in late July. The checks will continue through August with the goal of having all payments distributed by September 1st. The refund is separate from any money state residents may have received after filing their individual state income tax return. It's also great to note that no additional action is required for Indiana residents to receive their money. And there are certain groups of people who are not required to file tax returns every year. For instance, single filers with gross income below $12,000 don't have to file 2021 tax returns this year. And the same can be said for retirees who don't have any taxable retirement income. Even if you are in a group that doesn't have to file a tax return, it's typically to your benefit to do so. In simple terms, people in the lower income brackets tend to qualify for valuable tax credits that can result in a big tax refund. In fact, the IRS recently revealed that taxpayers are entitled to $1.5 billion in unclaimed tax refunds from the 2018 tax year, and the deadline to claim them is approaching fast. Under the current tax law, U.S. residents have a 3-year window beyond the initial due date to file their tax return and claim a refund. So the last date to file a 2018 tax return and claim a refund for that tax year is this year's tax deadline. If you had income from a job in 2018, but it was less than the amount that you're required to file a tax return for, you might qualify for the earned income tax credit, folks. So yes, everybody, that's the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. If you have any more questions on this, feel free to leave them in the comments.
They made $40 billion and didn't pay a single solitary penny in taxes. It's not right. It's just not fair. All they got to do is just pay a fair share. And we can do all of this and so much more, but that's not what my point of being here tonight, or today I should say. And Senator Cantwell, she's been a champion in this state to keep playing the bipartisan infrastructure law and delivering high-speed internet all across the state of Washington. And because we're going to outcompete the rest of the world. She understands how we do. We got to have you have access to that information. Think about it. During the pandemic, how many of you parents had to drive your kids into a McDonald's parking lot to get on the internet to be able to do your homework? Not a joke. This is the United States of America, for God's sake. The United States of America. Because of this lady and others, we are going to see to it every single place in this country, rural, urban, suburban, has access to high-speed internet. Congressman Shire, who represents a district, a doctor, an MD, who knows what folks go through in our healthcare system and knows how to make it better. This includes how to fill the nursing shortage to help colleges like this one.
They want to maintain the status quo and allow the very rich to get richer. It is also being opposed by 2 members of the Democratic caucus.
Dozens of congressional lawmakers, including 56 representatives and 21 senators and over 150 economists, have pushed Biden to support recurring stimulus checks this year. The group included a broad range of Democrats from moderates to progressives, like Warren and even Booker. The Biden administration has signaled in recent months that they would like to give more financial aid out to the people in need. That's why lawmakers like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are moving forward towards advancing Biden's agenda. Representative Omar introduced a piece of legislation that would establish a federal universal basic income system. Under the proposed 5-year pilot program, U.S. adults earning under $75,000 would receive $1,200 a month and $600 for each dependent child. The bill has drawn support from lawmakers including Representative Cori Bush, Dwight Evans, and Jamal Bowman, and even Pramila Jayapal. Representative Omar wrote in a statement that these payments will help keep people out of poverty, but they also act as an economic stimulus by increasing spending and supporting jobs. Now is the time for boldness. The lawmakers didn't specify how large and frequent the payments would be. In a separate Democratic effort in January, led by Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, with more than 50 House members, also pushed for recurring payments for this duration of the crisis. In a tweet, Omar specified that the administration should approve $2,000 monthly payments until the crisis ends. More than 150 economists, including Jason Furman, supported the idea of recurring checks in an open letter this year. They wrote that regular lasting direct stimulus checks will boost consumer spending during the economic recovery and shorten the length of the recession. It is clear that more stimulus relief needs to be passed as the crisis just continues to get worse. Folks, tell me in the comments down below, do you think that President Biden is doing all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check?
On USICA, the American Competes Act. In the first year under President Biden and the Senate Democratic majority, America saw its strongest economic growth in decades.
Well, Scott, first, before we do that, I think we have to hold a moment of silence for a loss in the investment family. And that loss is Tina. There is no alternative, because now there are alternatives, and that's the bond. So that's treasuries at around 3%. So that had been a big part of the thesis for a lot of people being invested in the market. And with the Fed's hawkish stance, and this is why I shorted those, I shorted them earlier in the week, and I'm long SARK. Look, the Fed is the most aggressive I recall in decades. And there's one thing that can continue to upset equity markets, and that's the Fed. So you just don't fight it, no matter which way it's going. And people are still like Pavlov's dogs. The bell rings, the market trades down, they think they have to buy. So there's hardly, much risk management going on with those people. And if they sell something, they buy something else. So I still think you want to be in cash. I still think the market goes lower. We've got a global tightening policy going on from the central banks that matter. And that's going to continue to weigh on averages. It's going to continue to weigh on multiples. And there'll be better times.